Hi everyone, it's Joaquin from Carolwood Estates. We're gonna take a look at how Brentwood performed this April and review the top 10 sales. I'm also gonna discuss the buyers and where they're coming from in the video and more so in my newsletter. First up, we have 13187 Chalon Rd. This one sold for $21 million. It's a 2023 warm California contemporary. It was conceived as a private resort and it's wrapped in wall to ceiling in cedar, white oak, and limestone. The style, it's less Brentwood new build and more kind of eccentric Amman in the Canyon style. It's monolithic from the curb, it's organic, very tactile inside with 1.3 acres of mostly flat, sport-ready land that's very hard to replicate above sunset. The house itself is great. The finishes, scale, design, craftsmanship, they're all there. But my favorite part is the outdoor program. You have a basketball and sports court, a dedicated pickleball court, a putting green, a 3,000 square foot rooftop deck built for entertaining, and there's a 16-person sunken fire pit with a glass viewing window into the pool, an open air tropical dining cabana. That thing has a rainfall water curtain and outdoor kitchen, plus a lagaja, multiple lounge gardens, a pool, a spa, a terrace that runs the length of the rear elevation. It's a lot, but it makes sense for the property. It was built as this full private resort, not just a house with a big backyard. This one hit the market in August 2024 at about 30 million, and it just sold for 21 million. The developer bought the land for 3.88 million in 2018. Then he tried selling the land in 2020 and 2021. So he held it for a while, which is fine for him. And he has a lot of projects that are always in the works. And there's still good margin here based on where he bought it at. The buyer, they're coming from Pacific Palisades, specifically the Highlands as well. Moving on, we have 280 Homewood Rd. This one sold for 11.475 million. 8 beds, 8 baths, 6,800 square feet on an 18,000 square foot lot. So the house, the original 2000 build is a California Mediterranean, and it's on one of Brentwood's most desirable streets, Homewood Rd. At some point, it was updated with a new kitchen, a new primary bath, some new flooring, and the secondary bathrooms look like they had a more economical renovation. Where the house really shines, in my opinion, it's the tall ceilings, a 23-foot double height foyer, 8 bedrooms, and that newer 2000 floor plan that just lives a lot more comfortably than some of the older homes. You also have a very generous flat 18,300 square foot lot with the pickleball and sport court plus a pool and spa. The home, it was purchased for 10.25 million in 2022. So this one's a good one to track against the COVID market pricing. Next on our list, we have 12114 Inavale Pl. This one sold for 9.85 million. 5 beds, 6 baths, 5,700 square feet on a 9,600 square foot lot built in 2026. A 2026 European country home built with the soul of a Belgian farmhouse. Rough fieldstone, hand-applied plaster, reclaimed beams that are older than the state of California. Yes, over 200 years old. This is all assembled by JVE Development and J. Omar with the same restraint and a reverence for materials that they bring to every project. It is not a Mediterranean, it's not a modern farmhouse, it's a very confident take on a Belgian farmhouse modernism. So Jay has been refining this over the last decade of LA work, and this is one of the most editorially photographed new construction styles on the west side right now. On the exterior, I absolutely love the white stucco for the main house, and the garage is clad in this very beautiful vertical cedar. Half of the front of the house is just floor-to-ceiling windows. And the primary level has a courtyard wall, which is clad in beautiful natural stone, and it creates this privacy for all the windows on the lower level. And it looks great in contrast to the white stucco and the cedar plank garage. It all comes together very nicely. Inside, the interiors are built on Jay's most refined material palette, rift cut white oak, leather travertine, rough laid limestone, hand applied plaster, blackened steel, and aged brass. The developers bought the land for $2.85 million in February 2025, and they sold it 14 months later for $9.85 million. They absolutely crushed it. This is a particularly large margin and spread on this deal, and they did it in 14 months, which I really like. As for the buyer, it appears they're coming from New York, according to their owner address. Next on our list, we have 685 Elkins Rd. This one sold for $9.4 million. 5 beds, 7 baths, about 6,100 square feet on a 31,000 square foot lot. We have a fully intact 1930s American colonial revival architecture with amazing proportions, floor plan, millwork, paneling. This was Audrey Hepburn's former Brentwood home, and it really does feel like a legacy estate that unfolds with old Hollywood grace. The sellers, they had the home for 34 years. It's in good shape, but the finishes are a little bit dated. Very livable as is, I would say, but the next buyer, they'll probably update it. There's a lot of pluses here. The property has true Hollywood golden age provenance with a documentary photographic record. It also sits on a 31,000 square foot lot, Brentwood Park adjacent lot, about 0.72 acres with mature gardens, rose plantings, a putting green, a kidney-shaped pool, and a wooded hillside descent at the rear. There is some slope to this lot, and the house is set back very far, so the backyard itself is not huge, but the front yard is very usable. It's completely private behind gates and hedges. Moving on, we have 1367 Beckwith Ave. This one just sold for $8.395 million. 5 beds, 6 baths, 5,400 square feet, 9,000 square foot lot. Before we talk about the house, we have to talk about the numbers. This house sold in October 2018 for $5.4 million, and it just resold for $8.395 million. That's a pretty great return, and from what I can tell, looking at the previous photos and listings, there were no significant upgrades. The previous listing had the house as built in 2018. The most recent listing has it as a 1953 build, but they also call it a custom built house. So it's either a new build or it was rebuilt and they kept a wall or two. And when you keep a wall or two, it can save time and money on permitting, but for all practical purposes, it really is a brand new house besides that wall or two and the foundation. As for the style, between 2015 and 2020, we had this very classic California modern farmhouse moment before the new, warm, organic, modern wave took over. I love this style, and it's a really great representation of that period. It's also set on a 9,000 square foot lot on a very quiet, nice street in the polo fields. The exterior has white board and batten vertical siding from the floor to the roof line, a dark gray carriage style garage door with vertical board planking again, in this dark charcoal front door. Great contrast, and it looks good against the landscaping. Inside, very classy. The dining room, it's got some fun wallpaper. The formal living room has some kind of charcoal, gray, blue, clay or plastered wall. Looks good. The kitchen and bathrooms have beautiful marble, and there's updated designer light fixtures throughout. There's also a good sized backyard with a pool. Really everything a family would want, and it's going to be very fun to entertain here. As for the buyer, the owner address is from Chicago. Next on our list, we have 826 Norway Ln. This one sold for $5.735 million. 5 beds, 6 baths, 4,200 square feet on an 11,000 square foot, 11.6 thousand square foot lot. A deeply private Cape Cod meets Nantucket shingle style cottage compound set behind gates on an expansive flat parcel. This one is on a small side street off North Bundy, a little ways up the hill, definitely. It really feels like a true East Coast shingle and shutter cottage kind of transplanted into the Brentwood Hills. The house, it's anchored by a wood paneled library, a gracious single level layout, and a flagstone and pool back garden that kind of lives almost like a private inn on Cape Cod. The primary living room and dining room, they all have vaulted ceilings, so you get that extra height and volume through the main spaces. The house also has been very thoughtfully updated throughout the years with a very restrained, classy, and elegant style to it. This is a really nice house and lot. There's not much you can say to critique the house here. And as for the buyers, it looks like the buyers are downsizing. They just sold their property on South Bristol. They got a good number for it. Happy for them. You know, they got an amazing new single-story home here, so that's nice. Next, we have 657 North Saltair Road. This one sold for $5.285 million. 5 beds, 4 baths, 3,500 square feet on a 23,000 square foot lot. That's big. The house was built in 1942. It's this rare half-acre Brentwood colonial revival with dual street access, period architecture still intact, and a full realized resort yard kind of hidden behind the hedges. So the house, it's in good condition. It's in great condition, but the next buyer, they could update it. Very livable as is though. The backyard, it's amazing. Pool, spa, outdoor kitchen, garden, multiple terrace patios, all framed by tall, mature hedging. The price and really the majority of the value come from the land, and there's a significant discount for the lots and the land because there's a big slope that runs through it. But there still is a nice flat pad, and you know, the rest of the lot is usable and enjoyable. It's very grassy, it's not too steep. It's a very nice lot, good house. So the buyer, they work at Kane Anderson and they're coming from Brentwood and North Tigertail. Next up, we have 1401 North Bundy Drive. I love this one. 4.9 million, 4 beds, 6 baths, 4,600 square feet on an 18,000 square foot lot built in 1962. So this is a 1962 architectural ranch, very rare style. It was taken down to the studs and reimagined as a warm California contemporary with soaring scale, warm white oak and arch plaster niches tucked into the canyon hillside. So the mood here, it's a grounded modern, clean lines, organic materials, and a canyon feeling. The sellers, they were developers and investors. They bought the house for $2.525 million at the end of August 2024. They moved quickly. They redid the house and launched it in March 2025. Pretty fast turnaround, but they overpriced it at $5.75 million, and after a series of price cuts, it just sold for $4.9 million. I still think they made a lot of money, and they didn't add any square footage, and they had good margin, so I'm not sure why they didn't get to the right price sooner. It's all good though. I'm pretty sure they're happy with this project. Next, so the buyer. The buyer is a personal injury lawyer, and they're coming from the Highlands in Pacific Palisades. Next up on our list, we have 11611 Terryhill Place. This one sold for $4.58 million, 4 beds, 5 baths, 3,400 square feet on a 9,500 square foot lot. This one, it's sold for $1,335 per square foot, $480 per square foot of land. It's a 1948 East Coast traditional with Cape Cod bones, on the market for the first time in nearly 58 years. The lot, it's a fixer. The lot's amazing. It's 9,500 square feet and it's wrapped by tall hedges. There's a lot to work with here. That said, this was still a very expensive sale in my opinion. 11948 South Saltair Terrace recently sold for $4.35 million. It did sell for $14 per square foot, but it was a little bit smaller at 3,000 square feet, but it sat on a larger 10,500 square foot lot. And it was not a fixer. It was in great condition. It was updated. It looked good. It had great architecture, and it sits on a very nice street in Brentwood Flats. Terryhill, on the other hand, nice cul-de-sac street, but I believe it's the only residential street directly off South Barrington, so that does factor in a bit. It was listed at $4 million, and it went for more than $500,000 over asking. That's a big sale. The buyer, they're a very famous television producer, screenwriter, and author. They were previously renting at 1221 Ocean Ave, the really nice apartment building in Santa Monica often called Champagne Towers. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you are someone you know is thinking of selling, give us a call, shoot us a text, an email. Let us present our thoughts on how to really best maximize your asset before coming to market. We have an excellent network of professionals to prep the house, from basic paint, landscaping, decluttering, minor remodel, full remodel, interior designer, and staging, of course. If you're looking to buy, let us connect you with the off-market properties that we have available and that we know are available. Give me a call, 310-943-0909. Thank you.